Good morning and welcome. You're watching Allahabad TV. This is Breakfast News. I'm Rajat Kane. Let's have a look at the headlines. Polling underway for fourth phase of elections in Uttar Pradesh. 53 constituencies spread across 12 districts voting today. Three soldiers and a civilian killed after militants ambush an army convoy in Kashmir's Shopian district. Encounter underway, fourth in 3 weeks. India and Uganda agree to expand cooperation, energy, trade, investment and defence. Vice President Mohammad Ansari meets Uganda's President and Vice President before he wraps up two-nation Africa tour today. NASA's big discovery, 7 Earth-sized planets orbiting a nearby star that could support life. And Australia won toss and backed first against India in the first of the 4 Test match series in Pune. India will look to extend the 19-match victory run. A top focus. 3 soldiers were killed and 4 were injured after terrorists attacked an army convoy in early hours of Monday in South Kashmir's Shopian district. Several soldiers were also injured and the condition is said to be critical. The army convoy was returning from an anti-terror operation when they were attacked by heavily armed terrorists at 2:30 a.m. The army retaliated, but terrorists managed to escape in the dark. This is 4th major attack in last 3 weeks. Let's have a look at election news in Verdict 2017. Polling is underway for the 4th phase of assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh. 53 constituencies spread across 12 districts of eastern UP and Bundelkhand region are voting today. The districts polling are Allahabad, Chitrakoot, Banda, Fatehpur, Hamidpur, Jalgaon, Jhansi, Kausambi, Lalitpur, Mahoba, Pratapgarh and Raebareli among others. Elaborate security arrangements have been made to ensure free and fair polling. Inter-district and interstate borders have been sealed. Patrolling by security forces has been intensified in poll-bound areas. Most of polling centres are manned by central paramilitary forces. The BJP is contesting on 48 out of 53 seats. It has left 6 seats for its ally Apna Dal. Meanwhile, BSP has fielded its nominees in all the segments, while SP is contesting on 30 seats, its ally Congress on 25. In 2012 assembly polls, the SP had won 24 seats out of 53, BSP had won 15, BJP bagged 5 and Congress 6, while others had won 3 seats. For more, we have with us Allahabad TV's Kritika Misra from Allahabad. Kriti, thanks for joining us. It's been an acrimonious round of campaigning prior to this phase of polling. Do we see polling picking up early in the day?
Right, Rajat, the latest figure that we've got from Election Commission is that in last 3 years, there around 12% of voting has taken place in the poll-bound districts of Uttar Pradesh. And I'm right now at Allahabad, Rajat, and let me tell you that people are extremely enthusiastic. I came across a number of exuberant first-time voters who are all set to rewrite the political discourse. They're extremely confident that their vote would count and actually change the fate of Uttar Pradesh. Then there were empowered women who are no longer proxies of their husbands. They have their own political understanding. They have their own political agenda. Of course, I came across an octogenarian. He couldn't speak much, Rajat, but all that he showed was his finger with an indelible mark, and that said 1,000 words. So definitely Allahabad, where there's the highest number of constituencies up for grabs. There are 12 constituencies as far as Allahabad district is concerned, and this district is completely immersed in poll fervor. Rajat?
Well, that's right, Kriti. Women and youth participating is a pleasant sight, speaks much about diversity of a democracy. Now, what were the issues that you spoke to many of the voters, first-time voters included, that dominated this phase of polling?
Right, as far as this phase is concerned, unemployment definitely is very high on the agenda of youth voters. Then there is demonetization. Of course, opposition parties have made demonetization the fulcrum of their onslaught against the BJP. There were farmer woes, and of course Bundelkhand region, which has been droughted for decades now. That is another very important issue. As far as Allahabad is concerned, remember Rajat, Allahabad University was known as Oxford of the East in the yesteryears. This particular district was known to be factory of Indian administrative services. There were certain plethora of industries across Naini and Phulpur industrial areas. But with the passage of time, there has been complete decadence. There's been exodus, large exodus from Allahabad to bigger cities. So certainly people are looking at more employment opportunities. They're looking at somebody who could articulate their changing aspirations, and certainly safety of women and law and order. That is also high on agenda as far as the voters are concerned in Uttar Pradesh. Rajat?
Right, Kriti, thanks for joining us. So polling is underway, and so far more than 10% has already cast their votes. Now our correspondent Misra is in Mahoba, and he brings us this latest from the polling station there on the ground.
Fourth phase of polling is continuing in Uttar Pradesh. In this phase, there are 53 seats under 12 districts. We are here at one of the assembly seat, and this is the Mahoba assembly seat, and you can see the large number of voters are here to cast their exercise their franchisee, and we will talk to some voters. ये बताएं भाई साहब, किस आधार पे वोट दे रहे हैं आप लोग, क्या सोचकर?
प्रदेश का विकास हो, अच्छी सरकार बने, सबको लाभ हो।
विकास का मुद्दा क्या यहाँ पर सबसे ज्यादा हावी है, ये बताएं।
उत्तर प्रदेश में विकास का मुद्दा बहुत ही हावी है, क्योंकि पिछले 20 साल से यहाँ विकास काफी रुका हुआ है।
लेकिन जातिवाद बहुत दिखता है यहाँ पर, खासकर बुंदेलखंड के एरिया में।
इस चुनाव में जातिवाद का कुछ कमी आई है, काफी अंतर आया। पहले होता था, लेकिन अब उत्तर प्रदेश में काफी इस चीज का अंतर।
क्या सोच रहे भाई साहब, आम लोग, जनता क्या सोचती है इस बार चुनाव में?
बस ये कि अच्छा होना चाहिए, और जिसकी भी सरकार बने विकास होना चाहिए, बस और क्या है।
So development is the core agenda in this entire, this is the particularly 19 seats of Bundelkhand region, and this region was previously, and in present also, there are many problems, including farmers or drought, migration is a big issue here. So we have to see in which line the voters will vote in this particular election. In Mahoba, with Camera Sushil Kumar, this is Panchanan Mishra for Rajya Sabha TV.
More from UP, our correspondent Ravindra Singh Sharao is in Jhansi in Bundelkhand, and this is his report on the polling station there.
After the bitter campaign and acrimonious canvassing, finally today the election, the most important phase of the election, that is the voting started here in the morning in Jhansi. People are quite full of zeal and enthusiasm to cast their vote. We have here on one of the booths where you can see serpentine queues are here, and people from all walks of life and every age group, they are here to cast their vote and to exercise their democratic right of franchisee. We have some people here, and we will speak to them what are the main important issues they would like to highlight.
समस्या ये साहब के रोजगार आना चाहिए। झांसी को बुंदेलखंड बताया जाता है, लेकिन बुंदेलखंड के हिसाब से कोई रोजगार नहीं है यहाँ पे, यही समस्या है।
क्या क्या मुख्य मुद्दे हैं बहन जी जब आप वोट डाल रही हैं?
हमारे मुख्य मुद्दे यही के बच्चे पढ़े लिखे हैं, बेरोजगार हैं, उनको रोजगार मिलना चाहिए, उनको सर्विस वगैरह जो मिलना है वो मिलना चाहिए। वैसे तो बाकी सब अच्छा है।
सर महंगाई बहुत ज्यादा है और बहुत परेशान है बच्चे लोग भी, उनको रोजगार मिलना चाहिए। जो पढ़े लिखे बच्चे उनको सर्विस मिलना चाहिए। थोड़ा बहुत कुछ भी पढ़े लिखे बैठे घर पे कुछ कर नहीं रहे।
You can see there are plethora of issues, a variety of issues which here in the minds of the voters who are here lining up to waiting for their turn to exercise their democratic right of franchisee, and they are quite hopeful that whatever is the next government, whoever party wins the next election, but the next government should address the problems of this area, and especially the elementary amenities should be provided to them. In Jhansi, with camera person Munish Bhalla, Ravindra Singh Shoran for Rajya Sabha TV.
The counting for Maharashtra civic polls is taking place today. All eyes are, however, on the outcome of Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation on the BMC. Counting will be conducted for polls to 10 municipal corporations and 25 Zilla Parishad across the state. About 56% voters had exercised franchise in these polls. The halfway mark to rule the BMC civic body is 114 seats. In Mumbai, there were 2,275 candidates and 92 lakh voters. The fight is between erstwhile allies, the BJP and Shiv Sena. Apart from Mumbai, the municipal corporations which went to polls were Thane, Ulhasnagar, Nasik, Pune, Pimpri Chinchwad, Solapur, Akola, Amravati and Nagpur. Time for a short break. More news on the other side.
Is it not embarrassing for you as a very senior leader, like who was projected as a chief ministerial phase, and now you are forced to retract?
Time came when it would be embarrassing for two party contest jointly and have two chief ministerial candidates would be something which is very awkward and odd. So I decided that I would step out.
Is it not a bigger battle for 2019? It's not Rahul, but it's Akhilesh Yadav probably who will be the face of the 2019.
Circumstantially, you cannot predict that this will happen or that will happen. But of course, the media has this habit of being the first to say something.
Watch senior Congress leader and former Chief Minister of Delhi, Sheila Dikshit, only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. President Pranab Mukherjee has pitched for reforms in judicial system to make it more efficient. Speaking at a book release function at Rashtrapati Bhavan, President Mukherjee said every system needs constant changes as it develops flaws over a period of time. He also expressed concern over the vacancy of judges in various courts. On the occasion, Prime Minister Modi said efficient governance can minimize litigation and thereby reduce unnecessary burden on the judiciary. Various dignitaries present on the occasion included Chief Justice of India J.H. Kehar, Union Ministers Arun Jaitley and Ravi Shankar Prasad, and Justice Wickramadjit Sen. The book titled Judicial Reforms, Recent Global Trends is written by former Supreme Court Judge Justice Dalveer Bhandari, who is also member of International Court of Justice. Prime Minister released the book and presented its first copy to President Mukherjee.
It is high time for all of us to collectively not only think but also to act. How to address these issues without bench, without adequate infrastructure. We cannot have any sorts of reforms worthwhile.
When I say efficient governance, तो मैं कानून के ड्राफ्टिंग से लेकर के इम्प्लीमेंटिंग अथॉरिटी तक की सारी लिंक देखता। आज हमारे यहाँ उसमें बड़ा लचीलापन है और बहुत ज्यादातर कानूनों की जो चीजें आती हैं उसमें तत्कालीन समस्या को रिस्पॉन्ड करने का इरादा प्राथमिकता हो जाती है। बड़ा दुर्भाग्य है, एक लॉन्ग टर्म विजन के साथ अगर हम चीजें बनाएं, लेकिन आज देश की जो स्थिति है, हर चीज का अपना एक अलग अर्थ निकलता है और उसको ड्राइव करने वाले फोर्सेस भी बहुत है।
DMK Working President M.K. Stalin is expected to meet President Pranab Mukherjee today to submit a memorandum seeking a judicial inquiry into recent happenings in Tamil Nadu Assembly. The Madras High Court on Wednesday adjourned DMK's petition seeking to declare Chief Minister Palanichami's vote of confidence null and void. Last week, Palanichami won trust vote 122 MLAs into a 34-member assembly. While DMK's 89 MLAs were evicted, its allies staged a walkout amid ruckus. The DMK then moved a no-confidence motion against Assembly Speaker, with party's working President M.K. Stalin accusing him of being biased. The next court hearing is slated for Monday. Meanwhile, Tamil Nadu Governor Vidyasagar Rao has sent a report to President Pranab Mukherjee about the incident that occurred in State Assembly during February 18th floor test. Earlier, the Governor had sought factual report from Assembly Secretary A.M.P. Jamaluddin on the entire proceedings. The Punjab police on Wednesday sealed two main entry points into the states from Haryana. This after INLD International Lokdal announced their march towards Punjab to dig Satluj-Yamuna link canal today. The Punjab police will also use drones, and state government choppers has been kept on standby to take stock of the situation. The barricading by Punjab police is 2 kilometers from a vegetable market in Ambala, where the INLD has planned to assemble before marching towards Punjab. Section 144 has been imposed along the border to ensure safety. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court told both the states to ensure law and order in view of the proposed march. Punjab and Haryana are set for a face-off on the issue of sharing waters from the SYL canal after political parties from both the states have taken a stiff stance on water sharing. In a significant development, Union Minister Maneka Gandhi has urged Health Minister JP Nadda to bring in strict regulation to check alarming trend of C-section in India. She said gynecologists who carry out cesarean deliveries just to make money should be named and shamed. Expressing deep concerns over the increasing trend of hospitals forcing expecting mothers to undergo C-section surgeries, Maneka Gandhi said that hospitals and nursing homes should display how many C-sections and normal deliveries they have performed in a month. The Minister for Women and Child Development comments came after an alarming rise in cesarean section surgeries in India, mainly in private hospitals, that has come under scanner, leading to over 1.3 lakh people signing an online petition on the portal change.org seeking government's intervention to bring in accountability and transparency in institutional deliveries.
हर अस्पताल डिस्प्ले करे, हर नर्सिंग होम डिस्प्ले करे कि कितने सिजेरियंस महीने में करते हैं। हमने ये भी मांगा है कि अगर आप जानते हो कोई गायनोकोलॉजिस्ट जो पिछले 5 साल से एक भी नेचुरल डिलीवरी नहीं कर चुकी है, हमें बताइए, हम उस पर कार्रवाई करेंगे।
Time for a short break. Keep watching Rajya Sabha TV.
From cowries to metal pieces, Indian currency has seen many changes. The earliest punch-marked coins came from Gandhar. The East India Company at the turn of the 19th century also minted its own coins. The Indo-Greek coins come from a colony left behind by Alexander. They depict the golden rule of the Guptas, with embossed human portraits and matrimonial alliances like Chandragupta Maurya's wedding with Seleucus I Nicator's daughter.
On the second leg of his two-nation tour to Rwanda and Uganda, Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari on Wednesday met Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni in Entebbe. Both sides agreed to increase cooperation in areas of politics, trade, investment, IT, agriculture and defense.
Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari on Wednesday held wide-ranging talks, met Ugandan President Museveni at the State House in Entebbe. Both leaders reviewed the long-standing bilateral ties between India and Uganda. After talks, the Vice President said he was confident that both nations will continue to engage positively.
We reviewed the entire gamut of our bilateral ties. We remain committed to working together in political, trade, investment, development cooperation, agriculture, information technology, defense cooperation domains. We also agreed to expand cooperation in the energy sector as also in the training of personnel for space programs and peaceful uses of atomic energy.
Describing the talks as fruitful, President Museveni termed the Indo-Ugandan relationship as warm and respectful. Both sides also agreed to increase cooperation in the areas of politics, trade, investment, IT, agriculture and defense.
In medicine, there are some Indian companies here which have invested here in pharmaceuticals, in transport. Many of our companies are using Tata lorries, as you know. In education, in the military, we send quite a number of students to India. Therefore, our relationship is long-standing and warm and respectful. The Indians don't come to give us lectures here, and we don't go to give lectures to them. respect each other.
Among other things, both India and Uganda have agreed to expand cooperation in energy. India also agreed to train Ugandan personnel in space exploration and peaceful uses of atomic energy. Another positive development for Uganda is an understanding to increasingly assemble Indian automobiles locally, which would be a first for Indian automobile manufacturers.
The Vice President, I informed him, East Africa is planning to discourage of assembled vehicles into East Africa. So I alerted him that in the future, East Africa will be insisting on assembling vehicles here.
His Excellency has made some very constructive suggestions in the expanding context of the East African community and the possibilities that it would open up for Indian manufacturers for doing local assembly. This is something that we will take back home and convey to our business community.
Asked about the mass expulsion of Indians during the Idi Amin regime, President Museveni said the measure was not against Indians but against Ugandan Indians. However, he admitted that it was a mistake, since the Indians ended up enriching other countries, mainly the UK and Canada. Smita Nair and Arvind Kumar Singh's report for RSTV.
Vice President Hamid Ansari has termed business ties of India with Uganda dynamic and key to bilateral relations. Speaking at India-Uganda Business Forum, the Vice President, however, said trade between the two countries is yet to reach true potential. At the forum, Uganda Vice President Edward Kiwanuka Sesekande pitched for greater investment from Indian companies in the resource-rich country. He also termed Uganda as business destination for India. Vice President will be wrapping up his 5-day two-nation tour to Africa with a meeting with Indian community in Uganda today.
Uganda's expanding economy offers business opportunities for Indian companies in a variety of sectors. We encourage our companies to remain engaged and invest in the opportunities that the Ugandan economy presents.
Today, many Indian nationals operate profitably in Uganda. I therefore look forward to more investments from India to Uganda and for market access of Uganda agricultural products on the Indian market so as to address the big trade imbalance.
Now, in a thrilling discovery, NASA has found 7 Earth-sized planets orbiting a near star, a combination similar to our solar system. All the planets are close to Earth in the size and perhaps warm enough for water and life it can sustain. The discovery has raised hopes that hunt for alien life can start much sooner than previously thought, with next generation of telescopes that are due to switch on in the next decade.
Are we alone in this vast universe? While the question has bugged us since human beings started existing on Earth, we are now a step closer towards knowing the answer to that perennial question. Astronomers have found at least 7 Earth-sized planets orbiting the same star some 40 light-years away. This discovery outside of our solar system means finding a second Earth is now not a matter of if, but when.
These planets are among the best of all the planets we know to follow up, to see, for example, with the James Webb Space Telescope that we're going to launch last year, the atmospheres, and also to look at biosignatures if there are any. The discovery gives us a hint that finding a second Earth is not just a matter of if, but when.
So what do we know of these 7 newly found planets? They were found in tight formation around an ultra-cool dwarf star called TRAPPIST-1, corresponding to Sun in our solar system. All the planets are rocky rather than being gaseous like Jupiter. These 7 planets have the winning combination of being similar in size to Earth. And most importantly, they are all temperate, meaning they could have water on their surfaces and potentially support life.
So
TRAPPIST-1 is much cooler, much smaller than our sun, and so the planets in its habitable zone are much closer to it, very close to it, with very short orbital periods. And in this graphics, what you can see are the planets which were found around TRAPPIST-1, with the 3 of them which are in the habitable zone, so also called the Goldilocks zones, where liquid water could exist.
Although 40 light-years away doesn't sound too far, it would take us millions of years to reach this star system. But from a research perspective, it is a close opportunity and the best target to search for life beyond our solar system. And here is some food for thought. When our sun dies, TRAPPIST-1 will still be a young star and will live for another 1 trillion years. So if there is another part of the universe for life to carry on, it may be in the TRAPPIST-1 system. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The Pakistan Army has announced a new nationwide anti-terrorism operation. The move comes after a new spate of attacks in country and a day after a suicide bomber killed over 88 people at Sufi shrine of Lal Shahbaz Qalandar in Sindh. Operation Radul Fasad aims to eliminate the threat of terrorism. According to a statement released by Pakistan Army, the Air Force, Navy and other law enforcement agencies will also take part in the operation. The operation will entail conduct of broad-spectrum security and counter-terrorism operations by rangers in Punjab, continuation of ongoing operations across the country, and focus on more effective border security management. It will also include a countrywide deweaponization and explosive control as additional cardinals of the effort. The announcement followed a meeting between Army Chief Qamar Javed Bajwa, the Corps Commander of Punjab, the Director General of Punjab Rangers, and heads of intelligence agencies. On to the cricket now. Australia have won the toss and is batting first against India in first of 4 test matches in Pune. Currently, Australia are 32 for the loss of no wickets in 14 overs. David Warner and Matt Renshaw are at the crease for Australia. For India, Ravichandran Ashwin opened bowling with Ishant Sharma. The series is going to be last home series for 2016-17 season for India. India is looking to extend its incredible dominance and is now on a brilliant run with wins over South Africa, New Zealand, England and Bangladesh. That's for now. Keep watching Rajya Sabha TV.